Right. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Spirit of Justice. Hi, Turnstile. It's funny, too, a lot of... Look at me using the actual germ. It's a real Phoenix Wright stream. Not a general probe. That's how you say it. It's silly. I thought it would be silly, and I looked it up, and it was. Who makes a consonant called R? Ridiculous. So when we left off, we were still very, very early in episode 2 here. Trucy is the one being accused of murder. She probably actually did it. No, she didn't. She was doing a magic trick that involved her being locked in a coffin and then seemingly disappearing out of the coffin, taking the place of a puppet that was about to stab right through the coffin. And instead she stabbed through the coffin, which is a weird thing to do in the trick, but whatever. And then the coffin is supposed to open to show that there's no one inside, because of course there isn't, because she's outside. And instead there was a guy in there, and he falls over, and then a dragon prop falls from the ceiling and crushes him. We still need all the information. We don't actually know what's going on. I wondered if it's going to turn out that he's still alive, that this was actually, like, his attempt to frame her. Like, the dragon whatever falls, and then he escapes down through the whatever hatch in the stage. And, like, I haven't seen anything yet that's like, oh yeah, like, they totally found the body. Maybe maybe that's it. Did he switcheroo? Did he, pull a Junko and it's actually someone else? Well, not a Junko. Did they actually find someone else's corpse who was dressed up like him? Maybe that's it. We're going somewhere. No, we're not. We're staying right here. Talk to her? No. We are going somewhere. Theater. The person you are trying to call is not available. After the tone, please Arg. I've tried calling Mr. Wright 100 times, but he never picks up. We've left him some voicemails, so he'll probably call once he gets them. He's going to flip out when he hears what happened to Trucy. Hey, this is the place, the theater where that magical murder happened. Oh yeah, wonder if they brought the dead body out yet. I hear they already arrested the murderer. They say it's a young girl. Yeah, a high school student. Can you believe it? Some people's kids going and murdering people in magic shows. What's with all the curious bystanders? They sure are kicking up a fuss. How dare they call Trucy a murderer? They've got some nerve. We can't let people think that about her. We have to defend her. Is that what lawyers do? They just walk up to people. They just go around in public going, hey, my guy didn't do it. Hey, he didn't do it. Apollo, is that you? Hey, it's Emma. Bring him back, everybody. Phoenix Wright Endgame. It's sure been a while. How have you been? Oh, can't complain. I haven't seen you in ages. Emma is not usually in the best of moods, so I never quite know what to do or say around her. Well, we have some business to take care of, so I guess we'd better get going. Hey, wait a minute. What? Was it something I said? You're darn right it's something you said. What's with you brushing me off like that? We've got heaps to catch up on. After all we've been through, you're not still mad at me about something, are you? Pout face. Sorry, didn't mean to upset you. Who's this, Apollo? A good point. Maybe we'd know what to do around her if she wore something that literally broadcast her emotions. A distant cousin or something? No, Emma's a detective that I've had the pleasure of working with before. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds suspicious. Hello, I'm Emma Skye, forensic investigator. I have music. What? So you're finally a full-fledged forensic investigator. What kind of lawyer are you? Can't you see that she's wearing a forensicist's armband? You only get one of those officially. Yeah, I finally achieved my lifelong dream. Look, Alright. Game, don't break me this early. We're only 5 minutes in. Look, I even have an official forensic investigator armband. It's true, they did not call it forensicist. And yeah, I don't think I guess it's not that he doesn't like her, it's just that she was usually like moody and would like snap at him a lot. Does that sound correct? That's great, Emma. I bet the exam was really hard, huh? Oh, it was a cinch. Really? Because I thought you said something about failing it over and over. Well, never mind that. The important thing is I'm not a plain old detective anymore. So no more boring old investigations for me. I'm so happy I could hug the whole world. Coming from you, that's really something. Criminals beware. Fingerprinting, luminol testing, DNA analysis. Emma Skye is raring to go, so bring it on. It's really easy when you've seen all the questions 6 times. She's like, it's really easy if you just keep saving in the middle of the exam when you're at 1 hit point. Oh, I guess it's goodbye grumpy clouds, hello fanatical sun. She was the one that was always making a pout face while eating, snackaroos? What were those supposed to be? Now that I think about it, was that supposed to be Carinto? Maybe. Actually, let's not leave it up to chance, because she's gonna eat them. She's gonna eat them soon enough. Snackoos. Right? Oh, wait. It might be dangerous to go on the Phoenix Wright wiki, I just realized, while I'm playing this game. I'm gonna look up snackoos anyway. Chocolate-covered snack food. I was right! In the Japanese version of the series, snackoos are karinto, a traditional Japanese snack food. every character that isn't Phoenix or Red Phoenix. There have been more... Hold on. How many Phoenixes do we have, though? Because we've got Phoenix, we've got Red Phoenix, we've got... She's kind of like Girl Phoenix, right? No, she's got her own thing going on. Mia was... Well, no, Mia wasn't really Girl Phoenix either. Haven't we played as other people? Or is it really just the 2 of them? It's just the 2 of them, I guess. Invisible option. Or Pink Phoenix. Like Pink Princess. Hobo! There was Hobo Phoenix, yes. That was actually Phoenix, but I'm still calling him Hobo Phoenix. She's very cheerful, isn't she? Is it because of the weather or something? She sure wasn't like this before. She was pretty frustrated back when she was assigned to the Criminal Affairs Department. Was Edgeworth Pink Phoenix? I wasn't expecting that. He can be Cravat Phoenix. And she was always munching on chocolate snackoos to relieve her stress. Snackoos and stress are the thing of the past. I've said goodbye to both of them, but we'll be eating them again before the end of the episode. And may you never have to see either again. By the way, are you 2 here because of the murder? Murder? Don't you mean the accident? Oh, then I guess you haven't heard. The case is being treated as a straight-up homicide now. What? Just so you know, I heard that the prosecution is going to argue tomorrow that Trucy outright murdered Mr. Rios. What? Are you kidding? They're treating it as a murder. Emma, please tell us everything you know. Of course, anything to help Trucy. You showed me your forensicist armband. Take that. It's been 2 years since we first met. But you're still just a newbie to me. Hey, that's not fair. I'm not even the newest lawyer in our office anymore. Yup. That's Apollo and me, just 2 newbies working our way up. We got to play his hat. Oh, yeah. Okay, Professor Layton, also, that's a good point. Professor Layton has been Hat Phoenix. There have been lots of Phoenixes. She committed extra murder from when murder simply isn't enough. Look at you two, the newbie duo. Must be nice, right, Apollo? Dots. Should I show her this? Why not? Nope. Oh, are you asking me to test that? Hey, why are you putting it away? I just can't let her cover this in chemical reagents. The incident. Why is the case being treated as a homicide now and not involuntary manslaughter? Well, apparently, there's something that proves it was a straight-up homicide. I guess that's there's first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, blah blah blah, and then there's straight-up homicide. Well, that's vague. Do you know any of the details? No, I'm afraid that's all I was told. Really? How come? Well, because the lead prosecutor is kind of a hard guy to read. Though maybe it's just a culture gap thing. Is he not from around here? He's not from Japanifornia. Is he from Europe, at least? If he's from Europe, then we can speak his language. Anyway, he's not one to really share his thoughts. Wait, what do you mean by culture gap? I mean that he's a foreigner, so his way of going about things is different. Oh man, is this gonna be like in Japanese? It was, we're in Japan and he's an American lawyer and they had to find another way to localize this? Nice. So who exactly am I up against tomorrow? Tell me, please. Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth has been reorganizing the prosecutor's office lately. As part of that effort, he's gotten rid of a lot of corrupt prosecutors. So the prosecutor's office is looking pretty empty these days. And that's how a foreign prosecutor got assigned to this case? The lead prosecutor doesn't wear an emotion pendant, so I don't know. We'll see our emotions soon enough. There's also killing someone in self-defense, which is equal to homicide, but only if a child does it, right? Which, how many times has that happened now? There was 1-5, definitely. That's the one that comes to me the most. Where she was being pursued by a murderer, by a convicted murderer, and she might have pushed him and he landed on a thing. And it's like, hup, that counts. That counts. You were underage. That makes it murder. Oh, right. I've already forgotten the last game. Except that it involved, of course, flashbacks to, oh, you committed murder when you were a kid, didn't you? Oh, right, that she supposedly had put her mom into the machine that was for robots and pushed the button and it impaled her through the head or whatever. I don't know. That's part of it, yes. We were short on prosecutors, and this guy just happened to be visiting. And what's the purpose of his visit? Well, some insurgents from the Kingdom of Kurain are thought to be hiding out here. As an international prosecutor, he apparently came to investigate the matter personally. So he's from the Kingdom of Kurain? That's right. He's also a Kurainist monk. Alright, so not American. A monk. So how did he get assigned to this particular case, anyway? It seems he's very devoted to furthering his studies as a prosecutor. He wanted to learn how crime scenes are investigated here, so he just showed up. He's like, back in my home country, we performed investigations by having somebody cast a magic spell and then declaring the defendant guilty. So he was just curious, huh? He looked the entire crime scene over quite earnestly. And just as everyone else was ready to call it a case of involuntary manslaughter, this is most certainly a murder, a cruel act of an impure soul. I don't think that's suicide. I feel like I've read somewhere that it wasn't. That's what he said. Just like that. Then he volunteered himself as the prosecutor for this case. With the shortage of prosecutors right now, the prosecutor's office was glad to have him. So Trucy was arrested for murder, all because of this guy, huh? I have to say, he's definitely not your typical prosecutor. Are we gonna get a picture? He says court is where a victim receives their last rites. Where the truth is revealed, the criminal is judged, and the victim's soul sees salvation. Receiving last rites in court allows the victim to finally rest in peace, or so he claims. So to him, a trial is like performing funeral rites for the victim. That's certainly a unique way of looking at it. His name is... Ah, come on. Why can't it be regular? Why can't it be John Smith? Just once. His name is John Smith. No, what? Nayuta Sadmati. Nayuta Sadmati. That's right. What, do you know him or something? Oh, I guess you could say I've heard of him. Well, yeah, he is pretty famous. Really? Yes, they say he travels the world solving difficult case after difficult case. Where there is a hard case to crack, he's called in to prosecute it. Wow, sounds like he's going to be tough to beat. I can't believe this. I have to stand in court against him? Anohito? He seems like a very kind and gentle person, though. He's very polite and understanding to everyone he talks to. Huh. So he's a pretty agreeable guy, then. Yeah, he's bound to see what kind of person Trucy really is. But don't they hate defense attorneys in Khura'in? Would he even listen to what we have to say? I don't see why not. He certainly seems like the type of person who would. Even so, do you think you could do us a favor, Emma? Could you tell Prosecutor Sadmati about Trucy, about what a good person she is? Of course. Leave it to me. I'll make him understand there's no way Trucy could have committed murder. Now off to do my job and collect information that will prove that Trucy committed murder. I hope he listens to reason. Me too. I was like, don't go. It sounded like she was gonna go. But we have one more thing to talk to her about. Congrats on finally becoming the forensic investigator you always wanted to be. Sing Trucy's praises. Trucy's so talented that if she murdered a guy, you'd never even know. Thanks, I failed that exam so many times, but I finally did it. I can finally use my forensics kit openly whenever I want. Oh yeah, you used to have to stealth use a kit you sent away for. Oh, I still use that one too. But now it's more of a hobby kit. It's important to have hobbies too, you know. So basically nothing's changed. Are you kidding? I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for taking fingerprints for fun now. It's positively life-changing. I can take all the prints I want. Are you sure you're allowed to do that? Are you sure she isn't? Sure, I'm sure. I've been collecting all the prints I've taken into a personal database. That might not be okay, now that I think about it. Now hold out your hands. I need to get your prints, too. Just promise me you won't use them for evil. I can't believe she took my prints, too, Apollo. This is looking pretty bad, Apollo. They're calling it a murder, and they've even got proof. What are we gonna do? Look on the bright side, that's what. Bright side? What bright side? Well, the good thing about there being proof is that it has to point to the real killer. If we can find out who that is, we can prove Trucy's innocence. Oh! Hey, you're right! Which means our objectives are clear. We have to find two things: proof of Trucy's innocence and evidence of the true culprit's identity. Yeah, I thought that too. And she's like, I can't believe she took my prints. And I'm like, not all of them. You know what, Apollo? You're starting to give me a glimmer of hope. And that means there's only one thing to do. Bwownt. Investigate. Emma, would it be alright if we investigate the crime... investigate the scene? If I said no, you'd just do it behind my back anyway, right? Would I do something like that? Guess the jig is up. Oh, alright. But I'd better come along. Who knows what sorts of mischief you'd get into if I'm not there to keep an eye on you. Mischief? Sounds like Emma trusts you about as far as she can throw you, Apollo. He has been known to move things around at the scene of a crime, you know. I don't remember that happening. Oh, wait. Last game? Was she in the last game? No, I don't even remember. Did he move something at the don't remember. And what about you? You used to do all kinds of forensic tests on things without permission. There's nothing wrong with that. After all, forensics is always on the side of justice. How is that even remotely fair? Alright, let's get down to investigating, shall we? Just make sure you don't move anything, or I'll get in big trouble. Fine, I promise. To only move things I have to! Well, I have my own investigation to conduct, but let me know if you need anything. It's been a while since we've done any investigating. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. You do remember how to do this, right? If you don't, I can give you a quick rundown. Should I have Athena give me a rundown? I'm Daijobu. Don't worry about me. I've got it all locked away in the vault up here. Good, and I'm sure it'll all come back to me, too, as we go along. Wait, wasn't it you who just offered to give me a rundown? Dun dun dun. I found it, the real murderer. So this is the coffin. Oh, right. So this is the coffin the dead body appeared from. I actually haven't examined that yet. Would you two mind giving me a hand? No sweat! Trucy said the coffin was supposed to be empty when she stabbed it. So how did the victim even get in there? I bet there's a secret door or something. It sure is an oddly shaped thing, isn't it? Who knew it could unfold into something like this? Well, I heard that since it's used for magic tricks, the left and right panels are made to be... What? The left and right panels are made to be interchangeable. How that helps with magic tricks, though, I have no idea. I'm sure they make use of it in some way we can't even imagine. Apollo, look, there's a secret door in the back panel of the coffin. Do you think Mr. Rias could have entered the coffin through there? If he could have done it without Trucy, noticing, then maybe. It's like two magicians trying to out-magic one another right under each other's noses. Wait a minute. It looks like the bottom of the coffin opens too. Oh, a secret door. Let's try opening it. Ka-chunk. Well, look at that. It seems to lead to someplace under the stage. That's right. It goes to the understage passage. It's pitch black down there. Hold on. I think I see something glowing faintly. It's hard to make anything out from up here. If you try to go down there, the magicians will get mad at you. Apparently, there are things down there that will give away the secrets behind their tricks. Well, that sucks. It's all right there, and we can't even check it out? We're definitely going to have to examine that understage passage at some point, though. A white outline, huh? So this is where the body was. What exactly did it look like just after the incident occurred, I wonder? Oh, I have a photo of the crime scene. Here you go. America's ass. Oh, wow, it looks like he was stabbed in the back? She stabbed from the side, though. The fuck is this kangaroo court? Yes, that's definitely what killed him. What's this thing around his waist? Magicians would get mad, so I couldn't gather evidence at the crime scene, so I guess you're getting a guilty verdict. That's the rules. It's a stunt harness. A stunt wire can be attached to it so the person can float and fly through the air. Come to think of it, he did fly in Act 1, didn't he? There's a sword here. It's covered in blood. Must be the murder weapon. Trucy said she was sure she switched it out with a rubber sword. Unfortunately, this one certainly doesn't look like it's made of rubber. Hey, Emma? Were there any fingerprints on the sword? Let's see. According to my data, no prints were found, but that could be because the culprit wiped them off. Come to think of it, Trucy was wearing gloves during the show, so she certainly wouldn't have left any prints either. Legal fact, magician did not fly under their own power. Oh, there were prints, but I took them. I added them to my collection. I made a necklace out of the fingerprints, and I wear it around my neck. Wow, this dragon is a lot more handmade than I expected. Yeah, well, I can't tell you how many hours I put into that freaking thing. What? You made it? Trucy had me help put it together, you know, as her assistant. She has you wrapped around her little finger, doesn't she? Trucy's smile has some kind of magical power that makes it impossible to say no. Well, then why isn't she one of the lawyers? That would actually be really useful. Oh, I've seen something like this before. It's like that game where you stick swords into a barrel until a little man inside pops up. Huh, doesn't sound like any game I've ever heard of. Really? It's pretty famous in Europe. Did you have anything to play with as a kid? Oh, you know us simple Japanifornians. We're happy with just a hoop and a stick. Playing hoop stick. That video camera is pointed right at the stage. I wonder what it recorded. I want to take a peek, but Emma would. Wow, this residue data is so fascinating. Hee hee hee. She's so fixated on that bloodstain data, her eyes are getting bloodshot. No, that's just the pink. Pink is blood in this universe, by the way. That's why her eyes look bloodshot. Quick, Apollo, while Emma's off in Forensics Fantasyland, let's see what's recorded on the camera. I'll shout it to make sure she hears us. So is this the footage that we already saw on TV? So the shadow. There's no swords in the sword hamper. Definitely would not have hit him in the back. Just saying. camera operator is terrible. It's the same video we saw on TV, where you can't see the body at all. Apollo, did you notice a strange shadow in that footage? No. Why? I don't think it was my imagination, but I'm pretty sure I saw something. A strange shadow, huh? I wonder what it was. We have one of these in the office too, don't we? Yeah, that poor magic prop we use as a shelving unit. I'd kind of like to see Trucy perform this trick sometime. Well, we both know you'd be the one in the box if she ever did. I feel bad for the prop, but it can stay as a shelving unit in that case. I guess I'll look at the dragon thing from the front, and it'll be different. Alright. This is what they call a set piece. It's a piece of the onstage scenery. It suddenly fell down after the body was revealed, if I remember correctly. Just as the brave heroine screams, the spell on the dragon breaks. Losing its wings, the dragon falls to the ground. That moment marked the collapse of Trucy's magical kingdom. Magic, huh? Yeah, sure. The timing was so perfect, I'd be genuinely surprised if it was magic. Something isn't right. It just doesn't make any sense. What's the matter, Apollo? You're making that weird thinking face again. How did what should have been a rubber sword get switched with a metal one? Plus, the timing of that dragon set piece falling down. Wasn't that just a little too convenient? Something just isn't sitting right. Ground control to Major Apollo. Can you hear me, Major Apollo? Athena, I think I've got it. I think somebody switched Trucy's rubber sword for the metal one. Huh? To pin the murder on her. Someone switched the swords. But when could they have done that? When everyone was too busy to notice. Somebody could have switched. After the set piece fell. That's what he just said. After the set piece fell, everybody in the audience was kicked out of the theater. In the ensuing chaos, somebody could have carried out a cover-up operation. Any one of the stagehands or show personnel could have done it before the police arrived, especially the ones with silly names. So what you're saying is, somebody's actively trying to frame Trucy for the crime? Yes, some disgusting individual is trying to get away with murder. So it's someone related to the show. There's definitely a very high chance of that. Now, if we could just figure out who it is. Emma, can I ask you a question? Shh, this is the best part. She won't even look this way. Oh, what great prints. Another set for my collection. She, certainly seems to enjoy her work, doesn't she? Surely not the bunny girl. Was her name Shirley? If so, that's a silly name. It counts. Oh, hey, this is a curtain. I have to wonder what's behind it. Or I wonder what's behind it. The backstage area. There's magic equipment and stuff like that back there. I'll open it a crack and check it out later. You weren't thinking of opening that curtain, were you? Who, me? Would I ever do a thing like that and find evidence that would find my client not guilty? Rats. Guess I'll have to ask her to open it for me later. It's later. Please open it for me. Let's see. What else do we need to do on this stage? Emma, did you find any fingerprints on the coffin? Actually, I haven't checked yet. I was going to do that at the end. I like to save the best for last. We aren't exactly talking about dessert here. Oh, but we are. Would you like to partake in my delicious dessert? I don't mind sharing. Oh, yes, please. There's always room for dessert, right? Alright, I guess I'll join you too. So, could you show us how you check for prints, Emma? Sure. Let's start with the basics. As you know, fingerprints are an excellent way of identifying someone. That's because no two people have the same set of fingerprints, not even twins. So if we find any prints on the coffin, they might lead us to the killer. If the culprit was dumb enough to leave prints behind, sure. Let's go ahead and dust for prints now. Let's see. This looks like a promising spot. The inside of the top of the coffin? The top thing? Diagonal? Try dusting the area. Keep tapping the screen until it covers the front. Okay, when you're done, tap below to get rid of the excess powder. Powder in this bottle is all we have to work with. If you run out, try blowing on the area. Any excess powder will be returned to the bottle. Wow, that's exact. Cover this in powder and then blow the powder back into the container. Shouldn't this be very difficult? I'm doing it. Okay. You found some prints. Looks like the fingers of somebody's left hand. Now, let's try comparing these with the ones we have on file. First, tap Analyze to select a print. Next, select the print you want to analyze and tap Confirm. I've got a pretty clear print here. I wonder whose it is. I have the prints of everyone involved in the case right here. Just choose the person whose prints you'd like to compare the sample against. Well, the last person who was in the coffin was... Yep. I'm on the edge of my seat to see if these are both the same picture that they are. Bingo. Looks like the prints belong to the deceased, Mr. Rias. Well, if we found prints here, maybe we can find them elsewhere on the coffin too. Guess I'll try dusting for more prints. Now I'll have to fill it in some more. Come on, stop being stingy. What am I missing? The wrist? Or, oh, okay. I guess we're done, and I just had to. They don't tell me anymore that I'm done. There, I found some. These prints are apparently Mr. Rias's too. Shall we try looking for prints on the outside of the coffin now? Yes, let's. This time, you'll be able to rotate the coffin and look at it from different angles. That'll give you a chance to examine it thoroughly. You can swipe the main screen to turn the coffin in any which way you'd like, and use the mini navigation window in the top right to jump to where the action is. If you ever get stuck or confused, you can always tap Reset. Okay, and if I find any prints, I'll choose one to run against your data, just like before. Oh, well, that's something, right? Ah! Oh. Oh, on this screen I can't quite... Oh, I have to double click and drag? Alright, sure. Or, double clicking works. Whatever. You can swipe the main screen, but then you'll be arrested for theft. Pretty sure if you steal something, that also counts as murder. It counts as straight up homicide. Check it against my data. That's funny. It doesn't match the prints of anyone involved in this case. Really? None of them? How can that be? Now then, I wonder if I can find any more prints. Maybe. Oh. Back to dusting. Nothing there. There's a little something over here. Nope, I lied. Perhaps the other side. The front? The back? Oh, probably the back, right here where you would open it, right? No? Did I already try the other side of the top up here? It keeps moving. I can't... It's not gonna be like the bottom of the coffin. That would be silly. Really trying to think where. I really would have thought, like, they would want right here, like, where you would open the door. But no. Or, like, front and center of the back of the door. Somewhere else on the top? She really was saving the best part of the investigation for last, huh? This is the most thrilling part for her. I don't know why it would be, like, in an obscure place. Or do they actually just want me to, like, analyze another one of the fingerprints up at the top? Oh, wait. Is this it? Oh, it is. Okay. Man. Judging from its position and location, it might have been made when someone put this lid on the coffin. Let's see now. There was one part during the show where someone put this lid on, after Trucy had gotten into the coffin. Shirley the Magician. Looks like the print belongs to that bunny girl. Come to think of it, she did put the lid on the coffin during the show. That's probably when she left her print on the lid. It looks like that's about all the prints we're going to find, according to my smartphone app that detects prints without dusting for them. Seems like... Seems like you could have skipped the entire fingerprinting process with that. To sum everything up, the prints we found belong to the victim, Mr. Rios, the bunny assistant Bonnie, and some third unidentified person. But that's strange. We didn't see anybody else up there on the stage during the show. Does this mean some outsider was up there? Somebody unrelated to the show? I guess we can't really say at this point. Well, thank goodness we didn't find any of Trucy's fingerprints, right? Because how would that prove that she was a murderer if she touched a prop that was involved in the show that she was in? But that's only because Trucy was wearing gloves. Hey, Emma, there's something else that's bothering me about the prints. Don't you think there's something odd about Mr. Rios' prints? Odd? What's odd about them? Well, if Mr. Rios was standing in the coffin facing forward, he would have left prints like this, right? But when we look at the actual prints, they're facing backwards. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, nor does it make sense why he would be bracing himself against... whatever. Hey, what do you know? You're right. I wonder how they wound up like that. Maybe he was accidentally facing the wrong way at first, but then turned around later. No, the coffin is much too small for a guy of his size to turn around in. But all he would have been able to manage is maybe a little bit of twisting. Then it really doesn't make any sense, does it? I think I might have hit on something major here. Oh, I have just one more question, Emma. Oh yeah? What is it? Mr. Rios was stabbed in the back, right? But if he was standing in the coffin like this, yeah, we should have addressed this forever ago. How would that have worked? Oh, right, that. The lead prosecutor has an explanation, actually. He thought that the victim might have tried to dodge the sword as it came into the coffin, so maybe he twisted his body and the sword ended up stabbing him in the back. That's his theory, anyway. I see. I guess that sounds plausible. In addition to prints from the victim and Bonnie, a set of unknown fingerprints were found on the top. Well, I guess that about wraps up our investigation of the stage. Actually, there's still the area behind that curtain. Don't you want to know what's back there? Sure do, but Emma told us not to move or touch anything, remember? Would you quit staring at me? Fine, I'll go open it for you. Wow, look at you flaunting your lady killer eyes. I have my ways. I'm only doing this so I won't get charged with animal abuse for not throwing you a bone. Mixing metaphors, I don't approve. I guess puppy eyes. You're still on the dog! Okay. Puppy eyes can be just as effective. Alright, I'll be back. He can't possibly have moved inside the coffin. Except in this one exact way that makes Trucy guilty. Well, go on and investigate to your heart's content, but before you go moving anything... I know. We'll be sure to ask first. Oh, by the way, just examine the backstage to move the area behind the curtain. You think I don't know how to walk? Come on. Now, how do I walk? Is it like this? Oh, no, my bad. Seeing the stage this way kind of breaks the illusion, doesn't it? Just goes to show that some things are better left unseen. Ooh, listen to you, sounding all grown up and stuff. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have some cynical one-liners of your own someday, too. Oh boy, I can't wait. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. Let's go examine the backstage area.